This is Squawk 7000, bringing you news and interviews from those involved in aviation in Ireland. This podcast is brought to you in association with flyinginireland.com. Remember, if you subscribe to our podcast, you'll get the episode sent to you every Monday morning. I'm Michael Cummin. In the headlines this week, there are just 2 weeks to go to the Private Flyer Ireland event at Weston Airport on the 1st of April. In tandem with this unique aviation event, the Irish Golf Show will also take place, so there's lots to see and do. The inaugural Women in Aviation Midwest networking event is being hailed as a resounding success by the organisers, as over 150 women were in attendance from across the region. And I talk with Don Harris, the newly appointed sales manager in Ireland for Mitchell Aircraft. There are just 2 weeks to go to the Private Flyer Ireland event at Weston Airport on the 1st of April. In tandem with this unique aviation event, the Irish Golf Show will also take place. Over 40 companies are now confirmed to be displaying at the event. It's a unique event for general aviation in Ireland. Nothing on the scale has been attempted before. This shows the vast potential of GA in Ireland, according to the organisers, which has been underdeveloped for years. There'll be opportunities to speak with GA organisations such as ILAS and NMAI, who provide the backbone to the airworthiness system for permit aircraft in Ireland. There'll also be an opportunity to speak with GASCI, the General Aviation Safety Council of Ireland, to raise any issues you feel apply to GA in Ireland. Representing fixed wing will be Beechcraft, Cessna, Cirrus Aircraft, Diamond, Piper Pilatus, and a few more to be announced. There'll also be massive representation from overseas brands such as Airbus Corporate Helicopters, Bell Flight, Heli Air and Helix AV, representing the rotary side of GA. For flight training, you'll be able to speak to Funfly Aerosports Flying Club and National Flight Centre, who will provide flight training advice for pilots considering learning to fly as a pastime or indeed as a career. The inaugural Women in Aviation Midwest networking event is being hailed as a resounding success by the organisers, as over 150 women were in attendance from across the region. The event is a first-of-its-kind industry initiative sponsored by Shannon Airport Group and held at the Shannon Aviation Museum, where women working in aviation and aerospace sectors from Ireland and Clare came together to collaborate and form synergies. Commenting on the event's success, the chair of the organising committee, Jane McGill of the Shannon Aviation Museum, said they were blown away with the response to the event, which highlights women's enormous contribution to aviation in the region and nationally. The resounding success of the evening clearly shows there are hundreds of women in the Midwest region with a passion for aviation who are forging careers in various roles across the sector. Mitchell Aircraft is a Chicago-based company that provides rotable, extendable and engine materials for Boeing, Airbus and regional aircraft. They not only tap the traditional sourcing channels but research other avenues they say most companies overlook. While their primary warehouse is just outside of Chicago in Cary, Illinois, they also now have a presence in Ireland, represented here by their sales manager Don Harris, who filled me in on the company.
The story behind Mitchell Aircraft is quite interesting. They started in 1987 with two friends, really, who got together and they were both interested in aviation and small aircraft and all that sort of thing. And then the idea gradually formed the way things do. Maybe we'll start a company because perhaps they couldn't find some particular parts. So the two people were Dick Sebian and Greg Fletcher. And so they're still involved. And Doug Sebian is now in there as vice president. So there's still a family connection in the company, but it has developed over the years. And they've become extremely well represented and well positioned throughout North America and most of the American side, Asia, but not so much in UK and Ireland, although they have been working in UK and Ireland. And really the company decided we need to be better represented on this side of the water.
Usually, of course, a good sale happens because you solve somebody's problem. What problem does your organisation solve?
The PMA parts are really the mainstay, along with OEM, which is original equipment manufacturer. But PMA came along, and it is the kind of alternative, if you like. So you have the opportunity of buying PMA parts at a much reduced price. So PMAs are approved manufacturers' parts. And it's really important that the parts match up to all the airlines' requirements. And there's some good stories about that where Mitchell Aircraft have been able to do that over the years.
Don Harris, thank you so much for joining us on Squawk 7000.
Thank you, Michael.
Ryanair Holdings plc will have 99 Boeing 737 MAX aircraft by the end of March as the US manufacturer works through a backlog of orders. Ryanair Chief Executive Officer Eddie Wilson said the Irish carrier was in a better position than expected, with greater clarity surrounding the delivery of the aircraft. The airline had previously described Boeing Company's delay in fulfilling orders as the only dark cloud on the horizon, and said a failure to deliver 51 jets by the end of June 2023 would reduce capacity growth. The carrier said Ryanair's summer service from Dublin will be its largest ever, delivering 10% traffic growth over the last year. And Dublin Airport was expecting around 432,000 passengers to pass through the airport over the St Patrick's weekend. With St Patrick's Day falling on a Friday, many Irish people took advantage of the 3-day weekend to make a trip overseas, with 220,000 passengers forecast to depart between Friday the 16th and returning on Monday the 20th of March. There was also a steady flow of arrivals over those 5 days, with 212,000 set to fly into Dublin Airport. Many of those came to Dublin to enjoy the St Patrick's Day festivals, which Dublin Airport sponsored. Meanwhile, Cork Airport was expecting to welcome over 43,000 passengers over the St Patrick's weekend period. This year, as part of the national holiday celebrations, the airport hosted an extensive entertainment programme for departing and arriving passengers, featuring local musicians, dancers and singers. Passengers were greeted with a taste of Irish entertainment over the days leading up to and after St Patrick's Day. And punters travelling to the Cheltenham Racing Festival were well catered for, with additional Ryanair services to Birmingham operating last week. The first direct flight route between Israel and Ireland was launched on Thursday the 16th of March last by El Al from Tel Aviv to Dublin 3 times weekly, using Boeing 737-800 aircraft operating on Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday, ahead of the planned start date of Sunday the 26th of March due to strong demand. The Defence Forces have inked a deal to buy an extra Airbus Defence C295W military transport aircraft. The contract is worth over €55 million. The new aircraft can be used for the purposes of logistical and personal transport, special forces operations, military transport, medical evacuation and MATS backup. The contract was signed in late December, but details have only recently been made public. Acquisitions such as this are usually required to go to public tender, but this is not required in certain situations, such as the extension of an existing contract. A reminder for your diary of 2 breakfast fly-in dates for April this year: Birr on April 15th and ILAS on April 30th. Dublin Aerospace has opened its applications for its aircraft engineering apprenticeships. In partnership with SOLAS, the Further Education and Training Authority in Ireland, Dublin Aerospace has also opened the application for its inaugural toolmaking apprenticeship. With the combination of aircraft engineering apprenticeships for aircraft overhaul and mechanical automation in the Dublin Aerospace hangars, and the newly launched toolmaking apprenticeships for the landing gear, APU and components workshop, applicants have until April 17th to submit their applications. This year's programme will welcome 25 new apprentices to the Dublin Aerospace team. With a blended approach of classroom and hands-on experience, those who complete the apprenticeships will be considered for full-time positions at Dublin Aerospace. Since its inception, Dublin Aerospace has expanded from a team of just 18 based in Dublin to a team of over 500 across Dublin, Ashbourne, Belfast and Exeter. Dublin Aerospace is hiring for several positions across multiple departments, and you can visit their careers page for further details at dublinaerospace.com/careers. And that's our episode for this week. Keep the news coming to news@squawk7000.ie.